was a chilly autumn evening, and the rain was relentless, tapping against the glass like an impatient visitor. Inside the small-town library, Emma adjusted her glasses, her fingers lingering on the spine of a book she'd just shelved. It had been a quiet day, as most were, but something about the storm outside made her feel restless. She glanced at the clock, wondering if anyone would brave the weather to visit tonight. Just as she turned back to her desk, the bell above the library door jingled, and Emma glanced up. A man in his early 50s, wearing a sleek black jacket and jeans, stepped in, shaking the rain from his umbrella. Emma's eyes widened slightly as she realized who he was, Elon Musk. She hesitated for a moment, then composed herself, reminding herself that, famous or not, he was still just another visitor in need of her assistance. A man in his early 50s, wearing a sleek black jacket and jeans, stepped in, shaking the rain from his umbrella. Emma's eyes widened slightly as she realized who he was, Elon Musk. She hesitated for a moment, then composed herself, reminding herself that, famous or not, he was still just another visitor in need of her assistance. "Welcome," she said, offering a polite smile as her curiosity bubbled beneath the surface. "Looking for anything specific?" Elon smiled warmly, his eyes scanning the room before settling on Emma. "Just a quiet place to think," he replied, his voice calm yet thoughtful. He paused for a moment, looking at the inviting atmosphere of the library, with its warm lighting and shelves filled with stories waiting to be explored. Emma nodded, gesturing to the cozy reading area by the fireplace. "Feel free to make yourself comfortable," she said, her voice soft but genuine. As Elon walked toward the fireplace, Emma couldn't help but wonder what had brought someone like him to this quiet corner of the world. Her curiosity, however, would soon be answered. As the evening wore on, Emma noticed Elon moving from shelf to shelf, occasionally pulling out a book to skim through. His movements were deliberate, as though he was searching for something specific, but taking his time to enjoy the process. Curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to approach him. "You seem to know your way around books," she said with a small laugh, trying to sound casual despite her nervousness. Elon chuckled softly, his eyes crinkling behind his glasses. "Books are windows into the past, present, and future," he said, his voice carrying the weight of someone who had spent countless hours lost in their pages. "They've always been my escape and my inspiration." They began talking, and Emma shared the history of the library. Her enthusiasm spilled out as she described its role in the community, a safe haven for children after school, a resource for adults seeking new opportunities, and a quiet retreat for anyone in need of solace. But as she spoke, her tone grew somber. "We're barely holding on," she admitted, her voice tinged with sadness. "But I can't imagine this town without the library." "It's more than just books. It's a place where people connect, learn, and grow." Elon nodded thoughtfully, his expression serious. "This place has the potential to be much more," he said after a moment. "I'm glad I stopped by. It's not just the books that make it special, it's people like you." Emma felt a blush rise to her cheeks, but before she could respond, Elon turned his gaze back to the bookshelves, his mind clearly working on something she couldn't yet understand. Elon stayed until closing time, sitting by the fireplace with a small stack of books he had selected. He flipped through their pages with an intent expression, occasionally jotting down notes in a small notebook he had produced from his jacket. Emma watched him from a distance, marveling at how someone so accomplished seemed so grounded. As the clock struck 9, Emma began tidying up. Elon approached the counter, thanking her for allowing him to stay late. "This library?" he said, his voice carrying a rare vulnerability. "It reminds me of where I grew up. It's a place of possibilities." Emma smiled, feeling a kinship with him she hadn't expected. As he turned to leave, he handed her a folded piece of paper. "Thank you for sharing your time and your passion," he said. "This library is lucky to have you." Curious, Emma unfolded the paper after he left. It was a note. "Thank you for keeping the spirit of learning alive. You'll hear from me soon. Elon Musk." Her hands trembled slightly as she reread the note. A week later, Emma received a call from a representative of Musk Foundation. The foundation had decided to fully fund the library's renovation and operating costs for the next decade. They also planned to provide new technology and resources to transform the space into a state-of-the-art learning center. The renovation began quickly, filling the library with the sound of hammering and painting. Workers installed sleek bookshelves and modern tech stations, blending innovation with the library's nostalgic charm. Emma, wearing a crisp blue button-up shirt and tan slacks, spent her days overseeing the progress. Elon himself visited the site on several occasions, offering insights and encouragement. "This place is going to inspire generations," he said during one visit, his voice filled with conviction. Months of renovation had finally transformed the library into a modern yet inviting space, perfectly blending nostalgia with innovation. The grand reopening ceremony brought the whole community together. Children marveled at the new tech stations, adults admired the comfortable seating areas, and everyone appreciated the seamless integration of old wooden aesthetics with state-of-the-art facilities. Emma stood near the entrance, greeting visitors as they arrived. She wore a navy blue dress, her auburn hair styled in soft waves that framed her warm brown eyes. She felt a mix of pride and gratitude as she watched the library come alive again. The crowd grew quiet as Elon Musk stepped onto the small stage set up near the center of the library. Dressed in a tailored dark gray suit with a light blue tie, he exuded confidence and warmth. "This library," Elon began, his voice carrying through the room, "is a testament to what can happen when a community comes together to preserve something that matters." Emma reminded me why places like this are so important. They're not just buildings, they're beacons of opportunity and inspiration. The audience erupted in applause, and Emma found herself wiping away a tear as Elon continued to speak. His words reminded her of why she had fought so hard for this place. In the months that followed, the library became the heart of the community. Children attended STEM workshops, adults used the new resources for career development, and Emma's tireless efforts were finally recognized. One evening, as she locked up the library, Emma looked at the plaque by the door. It read, "Dedicated to the people of this town, a gift from the Musk Foundation." She smiled, feeling a profound sense of fulfillment. The library had been saved not just for her, but for generations to come. And so, what started as a simple rainy evening turned into a story of transformation and hope. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. See you in the next one.